Kia ora and welcome to week 4, our final week in exploring the prayer exercises for this practice. In this exercise, we are going to be practicing beholding prayer, or what I call the window of the soul. It's a practice that helps us to bring all of ourselves to God and to just learn to sit and contemplate Him. The key here is about experiencing God with His kindness, His compassion, and His love, and learning to bring all of us to Him in a moment and to just sit there. So I'm going to walk us through the steps of this prayer practice, and then we're going to spend time experiencing it together afterwards. As with all prayer practices, we begin by breathing and becoming aware of God. And then we kind of sink into our hearts. One of the ways that I do this for myself, if I've got a really chaotic mind full of thoughts and anxiety or whatever, is to imagine that there's an elevator that goes from my mind down into my heart. And I sort of imagine walking up to that elevator in my head and putting all of those thoughts and stresses and distractions and anxieties into it and pushing the button to send it down. And then I sort of step by step imagine that elevator moving down the back of my head, by my neck, down past my shoulders, into my chest cavity, and down into my heart. And when it's there, I just press that button, open that up, and just let my thoughts sink into my heart to feel them and to acknowledge them, not to get rid of them. But whatever way you do it, if it's not the elevator, just kind of bring yourself down into your center so that you can bring all of yourself to God. Once we're there in that space, we're going to open ourselves up to Him even more. And the way that we do that in this prayer exercise is by imagining that there are French doors sort of over our chest or over that deepest part of our being, wherever it might be for you. It might be in your stomach. And behind those French doors is sort of our past, our present, our future. It's all of us. It's the stuff we want God to see. It's the stuff we really don't want God to see. It's the stuff we love about ourselves and the things we don't. But what these doors represent is the gate to our very soul. And in this part of the prayer, we want to imagine opening those French doors up toward God and essentially saying, "Here I am. Here is absolutely everything. My soul is laid bare and naked before you." And it's an image that can help us just be more available to God in prayer. And then after that, we're just going to sit there with all of ourselves exposed to Him and look to Him. But not just look to Him in any way, but look to Him in His kindness, His love, and His compassion. In John 15:9, we read, "As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you." This is the profound love that God has for us. The same degree that God the Father loves the Son, that love has been poured out over us, even in our condition. So give God consent to love you, to see you, and to love all of you as He gazes into the doorway of your soul. And then we're just going to sit. We're going to sit there in that space for as long as you're able to or can do. Not trying to achieve anything, but simply just allowing God to see you and seeing Him in return, going to pass a holy gaze. And just notice how it feels within you to let yourself be fully seen by God and how He responds. And then once you've finished, or once you feel that time's come to an end, just thank Him for being with you, giving gratitude for His presence and His love. We're now going to take a moment to practice this exercise, the window of the soul, together. So wherever you are, make yourself comfortable, posture yourself to receive and be with God. And just to begin, breathe deeply. Breathe deep into your belly. Hold. And breathe out. Just breathe as deeply and as slowly as you can. Just sinking into the moment. And with each breath, remembering that God is a loving Father, a loving parent who abides in you, whose Spirit is upon you and within you. And just focus on that truth, on that reality, letting it sort of bleed into every part of your body, soaking you to the full with God's love. As you're in that space, just sink down into your heart. If your mind's busy, you might like to practice the elevator. Just imagine sending your thoughts down into your heart as they become one. As you're just there in that place of God's awareness and love for you, wherever your deepest place is, wherever you feel your soul abides, just imagine that there are French doors there, just in front of those deepest places of you. You might like to think about all the things in your life right now or in your heart that are sitting behind those French doors. Is it joy and optimism? Is it anxiety or grief? Is it numbness and distraction? What are the relationships and the situations that are within you behind those doors? Thoughts, experiences. Just paint a picture of your whole self behind them. And when you feel ready, just imagine opening those doors up to God, slowly letting in more of His light, exposing, letting Him see all that is within you, the good, the bad, that you're proud of, that which you're ashamed of. Allow it all to be seen by God. And now look to Him. As you bring in your whole self, set your eyes on His heart of love and compassion and goodness. Give Him consent to reveal His love toward you personally. Imagine His gaze pouring through the window of your soul. As you're there in stillness, just sit with God. Without agenda, just gazing at Him, gazing at you, experiencing what it looks like, what it feels like to see and be seen by the loving God. You may feel something, but you may not, and that's okay. The point is just being available as God's available to you. Finally, thank God. for His grace, for His presence, His availability, and His love, and for the time spent together.